What's up, fellow internet denizens? As is probably the case with you guys, I love creepypastas, urban legends, and ARGs, and I grew up surrounded by them. I was raised solving puzzles and word games, and I absolutely loved playground rumors, like how that one gothic teacher was secretly a vampire, or how a ghost haunted the pipes in the portable classrooms. A lot of this curiosity led me to find and follow the creepypastas that made me myself. Some of these are going to be stuff that I either hate followed or fell out of love with, but I still think they were kind of formative and reflective of who I was and who I am today. So let's get into it. I remember one of the things that helped me get into ARGs was Neopets. I know that sounds kind of lame, but the interactive plot elements with different codes in them were so fun. I loved helping the protagonists imprison the evil Dr. Sloth, save the planet from collapsing in on itself, or save the fairies from being petrified forever. Some of the lore went really hard. There's one currently happening there about this massive wave of depression hitting the planet, which sounds familiar actually, but I've only popped my head in a couple of times. Jeff the Killer was the first creepypasta I remember coming across. I remember thinking this was so dumb because I saw this image everywhere for like 5 years. I thought, who the fuck would take this hyper-edited Joker-looking fuck and make some dumb story about how he used to be some teenager like me, but now he goes around killing people? Looking back, there was probably some kid out there just like me, dressed in all spiky black and hating everyone around them, and they wrote this to express that. I don't hate that fic so much anymore, knowing that. Honestly, the more interesting thing here isn't the creepypasta itself, but the face. There's this whole mystery going around right now where people are scrambling to find out the original unedited image behind the face. Several of my favorite YouTubers have made some great videos on this, and I cannot possibly do the subject as much justice as other people, so look it up. It's a fun little rabbit hole. Looking back, Mariana Mordegard Glesgorv was stupid. Who would send their eyeballs to YouTube HQ? How would one do that? All I remember is some people talking at middle school about this for like a week. I remember being scared of it back then after watching it once, and I didn't really remember why. So I watched the video again recently, and it wasn't even that bad. There's nothing there. Nothing! I think the first real creepypasta I got into was Slender Man. I remember around 2011 I had nothing better to do, so I was playing around on the internet and found Slender Man on Know Your Meme when I was looking for some rage face I needed to copy into my school notebooks. Anyway, I found out about this whole world surrounding him and all this lore, and I needed more. I then found Everyman Hybrid and Marble Hornets. I would watch these when I was sure my parents weren't home, and I don't even think I got caught. I especially loved the little rabbit holes and unlisted videos where I could solve codes. Some of them I got stuck on because they were either way too hard to look for unless you knew exactly how to look for it, or required a social media to interact. I stopped around 2013 because that's around when I had my AP class from hell. I also was getting into other fandoms around the time, like Doctor Who and Full Metal Alchemist. I still come back to Slender Man videos every so often. I love this idea of a Lovecraftian thing that haunts people and fucks with minds and videotapes. Around 2012, after a year's worth of begging and shitty Minecraft parody music blaring constantly, Dad finally allowed us to get Minecraft. Soon after, I was warned about this dude who haunts the game and messes with you as you play. I remember thinking this was stupid, but deep down, I still got goosebumps. I looked into this on several sites and knew it was false, but still, the dev's secret dead brother haunting the game felt weirdly plausible for me for whatever reason. Just for a moment, even. I had an acquaintance in middle school who claimed he had actually met Herobrine in-game, but I'm 99% sure this was Gen Z's "my uncle works at Nintendo." So around my junior year of high school, I found the SCP Foundation. A friend of mine clued me into it when he mentioned that SCP-173 might have inspired the Weeping Angels because of the 4chan posts that came out just before they appeared on TV. So I looked into this and found the SCP Foundation. I had so much fun looking at all of these things that were either hella dangerous or just something small and innocent but not allowed to exist in the outside world for fear of mass panic. I'll list my favorite ones on the screen now. When this video is done, go to the SCP Foundation and explore. 2015, Blurryface had just come out. A little while later, I went to Best Buy for some Christmas gifts, and the CD looked really cool, so I bought it and listened and fell in love. I still have that one on rotation, actually. It got me through a lot. And then, in 2017, 21 Pilots went dark, with a series of tweets involving a closing eye, and everyone freaked out. There was a scramble to find out when they would be coming back and what they were doing. I was in the camp that the eye closing was the great eclipse of 2017, but I was wrong. There were lots of other theories too, but I don't recall if any of those were correct. Then, in the spring of 2018, someone found a GIF with a URL on it on the 21 Pilots store page for Vessel. That URL led to demaorg.info. I followed that site religiously and played around with it to see what we could find. Build perimeter escape? Hell yeah. We are banditos? Awesome. Bishops who run a cult? Vultures, cheetahs, Zoroastrian sky burials? All of this was so cool to me, but no one else in my life really was into it as much as I was. This was probably the most fun I'd had in a while. Then, the eye opened on Twitter and Jumpsuit dropped, and I loved it. Ultimately, I made several wrong guesses about what would be on Trench based on the hints given. I really wanted a song about sky burials, but I still had fun. Besides, it led up to one of my favorite albums of all time. There's been more added to the site since Trench, but life got busy just before Scaled and Icy, and that album wasn't exactly my cup of tea. I kind of faded from 21 Pilots after that, but I still enjoy their stuff every so often. Clancy came out this year, but I haven't touched that one because I don't want it to be like Scaled and Icy. If it's good, let me know. Maybe I'll check it out and talk about it. One day in 2018, Nextpo's video about Local 58 came on into my recommended after one of Volgan's videos on the SCP Foundation. I watched the first minute or so, then went to watch the actual Local 58 series. I made the mistake of watching all of these after midnight, right after I had turned in an assignment. So, after the moon haunted my dreams, I came back the next day to watch again. And again! College got harder, so I stopped watching for a bit, but I came back every so often. I needed to know more. Side note, one time I was back home for the summer, and one of my friends was at his home on the East Coast, so I decided it would be fun to send him the first couple of Local 58 videos when it was 1 a.m. in his time zone and say, "You should check this out, it's really funny." Got a very angry slew of texts from that, and I am not sorry at all. Anyway, while Local 58 appears to be on hiatus, I've found Gemini Home Entertainment, and I actually think I like it a smidge better, maybe? Here we have an alien invasion where the Earth itself is compromised by this infectious life form and has been compromised for a long time. Gemini works with its old VHS tapes found at a campground, but Local 58 also works with its broadcast intrusions from the moon and its urgency. It's a tough call, really. Anyway, what creepypastas did you guys like growing up? Any recommendations? Any favorite SCPs? I might actually check out some more creepypastas and talk about them later. If you liked this video, feel free to like. If you're feeling generous, please subscribe. I make a lot of stuff that's loosely creepy, literary, musical, or conlang related. There's bound to be something up your alley. I've been Alien Daydreamer, and I am out. Bye!